Greetings, mighty companions, and welcome back to Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles with the Quinns, Anna and
Greg.
GQ. So, on Sundays and Tuesdays, we do Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles, which means what we do is we let Spirit choose through the random number generator where and what in a course that we study. And then we teach that and use this section to apply it to our relationship and all of our relationships so that we can experience the miracles that happen in relationships when these ideas are applied. That's what we do on Sundays and Tuesdays.
And I love the title tonight, you know. We take a lot of foolish journeys, don't we?
I mean, I waste so much time. Sometimes when I look and I notice how much time I'm wasting, it blows me my mind.
Totally.
You know, and I realize I'm doing a foolish journey. I'm doing something in vain. It's a waste of time.
And so tonight we're going to be reading a section that tells us that we can look forward to this thing called the last foolish one. Okay, we don't need to keep taking them over and over. We can just come to the last one. Here we are, people.
Yeah.
Here's the
Wouldn't that
last
be great?
foolish one. Let's just, how about if we all just do this last one and then leap off into never having to do a foolish journey again.
Exactly. You know, let this be the last time we waste time.
Right. Let's stop wasting time.
Let this be the last time that we waste.
And really, isn't that what, you know, we, our community, us, light workers say we've come to do, is not to waste time, to do what we came to do. Not to come and waste time.
On foolish journeys.
On foolish journeys.
Which is a vain undertaking.
Right.
Which
is what the rest of the world is doing, and we as healers need to be doing a demonstration of what it looks like when you're not taking a foolish journey.
You're not wasting time.
Where you're not wasting time anymore.
You're not doing a vain journey. That
I wonder what that person's life might look like.
Let's see. Where they're using what would a relationship or a life look like where you were using time for its appointed purpose, which is not trying to go find happiness outside yourself and trying to get people to give you that happiness through guilt, you know, but using your relationship and your life for something that is a very good use of time, which is learning how to forgive, which is learning how to be happy. How about that as a use of time?
I'm up for it.
I'm down for that too. You're up for that? I'm down for that.
So we got the up covered, we got the down covered. If you guys meet us in the middle, then I think we got all bases covered.
Absolutely.
That's a home run.
Absolutely. Every time.
All right.
Okay. We are in the original edition, meaning the original dictation of the Course in Miracles that wasn't edited. And we are in Chapter 4. And the original title of Chapter 4 is The Ego's Struggle to Preserve Itself. The Ego's Struggle to Preserve Itself. That's just the name of the chapter. Right? Yeah. You can, since we identify with the ego, we could say our struggle to preserve ourself. Okay? You know, the me self, my self, the self I made up, the self I'm an author of.
And that's the beauty of the author of A Course in Miracles. The author comes along and doesn't warn you of the devil and stay away from the devil and don't look at the devil. No, the author of A Course in Miracles comes along and says, look at the ego, which, you know, our old definition was called the devil. Today's modern version is called the ego. That's what the devil is called today. And so instead of don't look at the devil, you'll be hypnotized. You'll be tripped into voodoo.
Mesmerized.
You'll be taken over.
Another innocent soul lost to the
Run
lure
away
of the
from
devil.
the devil. Get away from it. But the author here wants to invite you in with a nice cup of whatever you like to drink. I
little summer drink.
I got my coffee with my little coconut oil going here.
Oh, very good.
Oh, so nice. And then my water is a backup in case it's too hot.
Yes.
But Spirit wants to invite us in and say, let's sit down and look at the ego. The ego struggles. It struggles to preserve itself. You don't have to struggle to preserve yourself because you're always going to be yourself.
That's right.
No matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter where you have been, you're always going to be yourself. But the ego, the scary little monster, the devil,
the fearful, guilty,
the
angry mind.
The liar concept, you know, the liar concept has to preserve itself.
It has to struggle to preserve itself.
It's a struggle.
Because it's an illusion. That's why.
Because it's not real.
It's not real. You don't have to preserve yourself because you are real. But the ego does have to struggle to preserve itself because it is not real.
And so the author wants to invite us to come in and let's look at the devil, the ego.
Right.
And let's look at
the wrong mind.
The wrong-minded thinking, which gives it its struggle to preserve itself. And if we know how to look at it, then we can undo it, unravel it, and get it out of our life and quit wasting our time and do, hi Eugene, and do what we came to do, which was not to waste time.
Not to struggle to preserve ourselves.
Not to struggle to preserve ourselves.
What'd you do with your lifetime? I struggled to preserve myself and my family.
I struggled to find myself. Did you ever find yourself? No, but I sure got lost along the way a lot of times.
So it was never boring.
Yeah.
And so the ego, you got to know that the ego within you, the fearful, angry, guilty mind, that lives on fear and conflict, it is struggling to preserve itself, and we don't want to be helping it.
Yeah.
We don't want to be like, here, let me help you to preserve yourself,
You're
fearful, angry, guilty mind. Yes.
You
don't want to help
little struggler, you.
Yes. The ego is always struggling. Why? Because it's an illusion. It's not who you really are. So as long as you identify with the ego, something that's not real, then you are going to be struggling to preserve yourself all the time. And I remember feeling that. I remember feeling like all I do with my life is struggle to preserve myself. And now my child. And now my dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I keep giving myself more struggle. Yeah. You know, to
make sure you got the right amount of insurance.
It's called survival, you know.
The right amount of shelter, the right amount of food, the right amount of clothing.
But if you
that struggle to preserve ourselves, when yet heaven created us and we are in our natural environment, just are without effort.
Completely, complete, safe, whole, healed, don't need to struggle at all. Your real self.
Say, boy, that'd be nice. That sounds impossible. A world like that, like your class today, talking about the impossible.
What we call impossible.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the chapter. The name of the section is The Last Foolish Journey.
Which is the first one. It went to chapter 4, section 1. So we're coming right out the gate. Learning about the ego's struggle.
Yes, exactly. And anytime you are helping the ego struggle to preserve itself, you are taking a vain journey. You're taking a foolish journey, where you're gonna like maybe lose a limb and get injured, you know, but for nothing.
Yeah,
that's a foolish journey.
Is where
you're fighting for something.
Where you're accomplishing nothing.
Yeah, and
that's what a foolish or a vain journey is. You're just accomplishing nothing.
Right, but you're busting your butt to do so, and you're sacrificing your time and your energy
to do something not even accomplishing anything.
Exactly, and
putting a lot of effort into something that doesn't even hold any water.
Yes, you know, to the point where we get to the end of our life and we go, I did all of that for what? I struggled all my life
for a gold what?
For what? For what? You know, And then, oh my God, I wasted my time. I wasted my journey. Okay, I made a foolish journey, like a detour. A foolish journey is like a detour off a path that really goes somewhere. And so, it says, yeah. Do you want
I
to say
wanted to
something?
point out something. I've just recognized so many things I recognize here, but you know, in the world of religious teachings, for example, the temples of man, we would take the last fullest journey, and that would be condemnation, you know, as us being fools, you know. And I've just recognized, I love reading truth, the Course, knowing that I'm not going to enter into woe is me.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot.
Yes.
I'm such a fool.
I'm such a fool.
I'm the foolish.
Exactly.
I'm the fool going on a foolish journey.
Whereas
Where
so many religions.
the Course takes us in, lays out what's really happening, shines a light on it. This is what's really happening. And always, and so it comforts me now because I know no matter what's coming at us right now, always our author leads us back out the other side with the answer.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly what to do.
Exactly.
The applications, what to do. If you just listen to the instructions, you don't have to understand them. You don't have to argue with them. You
don't
can
have to
just
believe them.
You can just do them, and then watch what happens. But first, we're gonna get, you know, as usual, break it down to what's the meat of it.
Exactly, and how to use it.
Right.
Absolutely. So this is titled The Last Foolish Journey. The Bible says you should go with another twice as far as they ask. The Bible certainly does not suggest that you set them back on their journey. And P.S., devotion to another cannot set you back either.
We were talking about this earlier today. And Anna and I, any of you that have heard us before, know that we're always talking about this concept called
the win-win solution.
The win-win solution.
And
you were telling me that concept at, you know,
the beginning.
At the seat of our relationship. Always looking for the win-win solution. And here, I believe, is where you would get that. Where could I find that in the Course of Miracles?
That's right.
Well, here's where that is in the Course of Miracles, is just another way. It says it a lot of times in a lot of places, but this is one of those places where it starts talking to us about a win-win solution.
And that there's always an answer to any problem that's a win-win if you're asking the right voice.
Right.
You know, if you're asking the voice of love, then there's always a win-win, because love always sees a win-win solution in any conflict. And
the voice of the ego, you know, what used to be called the devil, would only see it as, no, only one side can win.
At a time.
The other side has to lose. We have to put up on the scoreboard.
Somebody got to lose for somebody to win.
Everybody to see,
Says
put up
the
on
ego.
the scoreboard. Just like the guy that we heard about, a confrontation, and it was put up on the scoreboard right in the foyer for everybody to see what the score is. You lose, I win.
Right, and the what we learned is that you that when you give devotion to another, you lose, right? And you know that, well, if I give to my brother what they're asking, then I will be set back. I will lose because I gave it to them. That's what we've learned.
Right.
And so now it's saying that we've been taught and we've been told that when somebody asks you to go somewhere, then you should go twice as far as your brother or sister asks. Okay, so and reminding us that as you help another, as you are devoted to another and help them, that devotion to another can never set you back. You can never be that, well, because I helped them, because I was devoted to them. Now I'm poor and now I have nothing because I helped them. Right. This is saying it doesn't work like that. Lack does not come from being devoted to another. As a matter of fact, it's saying give them twice or go twice as far with them as they ask, saying that not only will you not lack, but actually you will gain. So it says devotion to another cannot set you back either. Devotion to another can only lead to mutual progress.
So if you're helping them, you're mutually helping yourself.
Exactly, mutual progress.
Yeah.
Even if they don't appreciate that.
And if you knew that was the truth, and you wouldn't only want to give a mile, the Bible, I think it says if a brother or sister asks you to go a mile, to go with them 2 miles. So if you knew how the concept worked, if you knew that by what you give to them is going to come back to you, then you'd want to give us twice as much in this opportunity.
Maybe 3 times as much.
Because you don't know when that opportunity comes along to give. I mean, maybe there won't be one for a while.
Exactly.
But here's one, so while you have it, you seize the moment of giving what you would want to receive back.
Exactly.
Which would be twice as much as what they suggested.
Right. So
I want a lot back.
Progress doesn't come when you get ahead of somebody. Progress happens when you are devoted to another.
Giving.
Yes, when you are giving to another twice as much as they asked.
We think
that's where progress happens. Not I got ahead. I'm ahead of you, and so I've made progress because I'm ahead of you. Actually, you don't make progress. I got the better
end of the deal.
Yeah, you don't make progress like that. Actually, you go to the end of the line. So remember.
You started the work again.
Back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to class, kids. Back to the end of the line.
Back to class.
Shuffle through. Be patient. You'll make it to the front again.
That's right. It's like infinite patience. Okay. So it's saying that what we've heard spiritually in our past was if somebody asked you to go with somebody, go twice as far as they asked. And then it's reminding you, don't worry, because your devotion to them could never, ever, ever set you back, ever. Your devotion to them can only lead to mutual progress. And P.S., that's even if they don't appreciate your devotion to them, okay? So they even if they don't appreciate it, doesn't matter, okay? It says the result of genuine devotion is inspiration. Inspiration, a word which properly understood is the opposite of fatigued. Okay? So when you are truly devoted to another, then the end result is not deprivation for you. It is actually the opposite of fatigue. You get inspired, you get energized.
In whatever area you need it in.
Exactly. And notice how it says the result of genuine devotion is inspiration, okay? So apparently there's a way of being devoted to another that's not genuine. And so we were talking about this earlier by the creek, well, what's a not genuine devotion? Because the sentence says the result of genuine devotion is inspiration, okay? Well, the opposite of fatigue. Well, what's not genuine devotion? Where I'm like, all right, the Bible told me I gotta go twice as far with you that you asked, so I guess I will.
Let me get my hiking
Let me get my face of sacrifice on.
Let me get my hiking stick.
Exactly. I guess I'll go since you asked me to go on the hike with you.
You go on ahead of me because I'm going to be going twice as far anyway. I'll pass you at some point.
Okay. And that's a perfect example of not genuine devotion. So now when you're like, okay, I'll do what you want me to do, but it's not genuine devotion, it's a sacrifice, then what you're going to experience afterward is fatigue.
Well,
okay. You'll be like, okay, and also resentment.
And because you haven't yet got the concept as all I give unto myself.
Exactly.
You haven't got that concept yet.
Right.
And so as I'm going to go with my sibling, my brother, my sister, on this journey twice as far as they want, begrudgingly.
Yes, begrudgingly.
Then what I'm really asking to come back into my experience, somewhere in my experience, is a begrudging experience.
Yeah, where you need help and somebody begrudgingly, with guilt.
They do it, but they're doing it with begrudgingly, just like you were when you were helping that person.
Exactly.
That's one option. And there's another option, which is you could look at it in an inspirational way.
A genuine devotion.
Genuine, inspirational, that as I help their call for love, what they're needing, you know, that I'm receiving that somewhere back in my life.
And won't be long before you need it.
And if I really get that concept, I'm receiving it somewhere back in my life, then I'm totally inspired now to help them, because I realize this is now mutually helping both of us. I'm helping you now because now I'm not doing it with a begrudging attitude. I'm doing it with a inspired, because I'm going to get whatever. I don't even know what I need back in my life.
You just know you're going to get it when
but
you need it.
But I know that I'm helping whatever it is right now by being a help. And
that you're guaranteeing that when you need help, that someone will give it to you in a genuine and sincere way, not a begrudging, sacrificial, guilty way.
Exactly.
You know, and that time is coming. It won't be long. So, so hedge your bets and give to yourself, give to your future self by learning how to be genuinely devoted to others. You know.
And imagine receiving back, because it's what you're giving. Love that's inspired.
Yeah.
That people are giving you genuine love, and because they're inspired to want to. They want to. They're inspired.
Oh, that's
to.
The best.
They're glad you're giving them the opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're
That's
so
the
happy
best.
You're giving them the opportunity.
They're so honored that you're giving them the opportunity to help you.
And then all of a sudden, that comes into your experience, where you're receiving that, where you're experiencing the same thing, because that's what you gave.
Amen to that.
And man, when you experience people around you that are supporting you because they genuinely are happy they have the opportunity to help you out, and they really want to, they're inspired to. You don't have to even know why. You can just tell they are inspired.
Exactly. You can tell when somebody's inspired.
You know,
to help you.
People that get into our community and you're like, what is with that person? They just want us to succeed.
All they want is they seem
so
genuinely inspired to help us.
To help us.
Exactly.
And then, but we don't connect it. I want to say you don't connect it, but I can only say what I'm saying because I can see how I don't do it.
Absolutely.
You know? But when we do see the connection, but when I'm inspiring, I get inspiration. I get inspirational people around me, and I love that feeling of having inspirational people around me. Oh, I see, because I was being inspirational to a brother and sister that need me to go a mile with them. So much so that I went 2 miles, so that, hey, look at when I needed that mile, somebody went overboard. You have that person that went overboard for you? Well, that's because you did that. You did that. It wasn't by some magic act or you just had a lucky day. The right day of the week.
That's right. And every time you've ever had an expression of genuine devotion to another, helping them, recognizing that they are you, you have experienced being inspired. And like Greg was saying, the feeling of being inspired is magical. That's like creation. That's like the creative energy. When you're inspired because of what you gave to another, That's how you create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. You know?
I don't know if there's any better inspirational than you can be self-inspired, but when you have people gathering around your wings, blowing air under your wings, helping you get flight, and going, man, look what you're doing, it's magical, you know, then it's a lot easier to fly.
Absolutely. So we've been told in the past in our spiritual teachings, when somebody asks you for something, go twice the distance with them. Go answer it twice as much as they asked. And don't worry that you're going to somehow be left with nothing because you helped others.
Or fatigued.
Exactly.
That's what the ego wants you to believe.
I've been helping so many people and now I'm so exhausted.
You don't realize this is the answer to your fatigue.
Exactly. Genuine devotion to others is the opposite of fatigue. It's the opposite of fatigue.
Not begrudging.
When you are fatigued, that's because you are dispirited. But to be inspired is to be in the spirit. So when you feel fatigued, you're dispirited. And how is it that you get dispirited? You're not expressing genuine devotion to others. When you give grudgingly, if you even give at all.
Right.
You know, and that's why you're fatigued. Isn't that interesting that fatigue doesn't come from what you do with your body? Fatigue comes from whether you are sincerely giving, being sincerely devoted to others. Right.
Uplifting to others.
Exactly, being inspiring or uplifting to others.
And it makes sense because if we're spending our time bringing down people, not inspirational, what would be the opposite? Judging them. Well, that's not going to work.
Condemnation.
I see how excited you are, that gleam in your eye, but that's not going to work. Let me burst your bubble right now about that one.
Exactly.
And,
we all experience that.
Or whatever the deal is, but rather than being supportive and asking Spirit how I can be supportive in the story, which I'm really guilty of, you know, because I have a lot of quick opinions, let's call them. But yeah, to be supporting rather than judging. Judging is the opposite. It has the opposite energy that you're offering them. So of course, that's the energy that you're offering yourself to come fill in the gaps of your experiences. And now you're fatigued because you brought them down.
Yes, you're
you don't
exhausted.
even realize what you're doing.
And no, you don't.
To them, and yourself included.
Yes, exactly.
But you start waking up to, we are one.
Right, and so if I'm not encouraging to this person, if I'm not inspiring them and encouraging them, then I'm going to feel very discouraged very soon. Yeah. And that feeling sucks.
Right.
We just feel like, screw it. Why do I even do it? That's feeling discouraged.
Thanks to me.
Thanks to me.
Myself.
Right.
Thanks to me, myself, and I.
I think I'm feeling discouraged because
Because this situation happened.
Exactly.
Not realizing I asked for it just a couple of days ago when I brought this person down. And I instead of being inspiring,
instead of being genuinely devoted to that person,
uplifting, I was like something that sucked the life out of a turtle's neck. Yeah. And now the turtle can't swim. Yes. I'll explain that one later, but the point is now that result, the effect has come back, and like you said, you think, I love how you said that this afternoon. You said, trouble doesn't just sneak out of the bushes and then jump on you as you're walking by.
You're just minding your own business.
Trouble got onto me.
I was just minding my own business.
Yeah. And so fatigue doesn't just lurk out of the bushes and jump on us either and land on us. Right. Fatigue comes because we called it.
Yes.
And we are princes and princesses of creators. Yes. We at our command beckon the atoms of the universe to come together. And when we command fatigue, we have fatigue.
When we are disencouraging to others, we become disencouraged. We become disencouraged and want to give up.
The problem is we haven't even learned. This is what such, the Course talks about us being babies. You're just like a baby.
That's what the Course says.
Yeah,
you're like a baby.
Says you're just like a baby. And I get it. We are just like babies because we can't even understand our own language.
Yes.
We don't even understand that when I uninspire a brother, I literally, because we are connected, we're one, we're joined. I can't change that. And because of our joinedness, our oneness, our connectionness, our having came from the same placeness, now however I treat you like an atom in two different parts of the universe, who cares? The other one's going to feel the other's effect. And I'm going to feel that effect as a neutron or whatever in that relationship. No matter how far we get separated, I'm going to feel the effect of it.
Yes.
And when we realize that, boy, you would think we would just understand how to give. You
would think that once you understand the concept, the truth, that we are connected, and what I do to you, I'm going to experience very soon. You would think that once you hear that and go, that makes sense, that we would give only love, that we would only be encouraging, inspiring, others, instead of like, that ain't gonna work, honey. You would think, but so apparently there's readiness for learning, and then there's mastery. And so we're doing our readiness where we're like, oh, right, I get that. I was feeling discouraged, like I wanted to give up the other day because I had been discouraging to them. When they shared their call for love or their dream or their vision or whatever, I was just like, I've tried that before.
I wasn't supportive.
I wasn't supportive at all. I didn't express true devotion to them.
No.
I didn't.
I wasn't inspiring.
No, I didn't express. When they said, help me to feel good about myself, I said, it's too late for you. Let's forget about it. You may as well just go,
The interest rates are too high for you to be happy.
Exactly. Right.
To be inspired.
Very good.
Let me give you a reason to be sad.
Exactly. Very good. So, but when you're being genuinely devoted, then you are perceiving what they're asking for, and you go twice as far. You see that they're asking for encouragement, or they're asking for a release from shame, or they're asking for, help to know which way to go. And then you go twice as far in answering their call for love. You respond with true devotion to them. I see that you need help knowing which way to go, or help whatever. I'm going to go twice as far. That's genuine devotion, and that's what inspires me. Not being out in the mountains, even though that's awesome. I'm trying to find somewhere to be inspired. Okay, well, express genuine devotion to another. See what they're asking for, and go twice as far to answer their call for love. Because knowing that they are you, and that's going to be you needing that kind of help very soon.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with their call for help.
That's right, the form of it.
Their call for help and whatever help they're needing. But whatever help is the best that I'm needing for me, it can be something totally irrelevant to that whatsoever.
Yeah,
but it's what I need.
That's right.
It'll come back in that way for me.
It comes back in the form that you most need it.
Sometimes I don't even realize I need it there, in that area of my life. All of a sudden, phone calls are happening, and people show up, and doors are opening that didn't even know were shut. And, all of a sudden things start happening in your life because the heavens are literally the universe, the angels, whatever you want to call them, the creators of the manifestation of quantum physics are coming into place to manifest your request, literally.
Yeah.
And everything is going to move in that direction to make it happen as you requested it.
As you gave.
As you gave.
Yeah, and so it's
and it makes sense that do unto others as you would have done unto yourself, because as you do unto others, you are doing unto yourself.
That's right.
As
you are doing unto yourself.
Yeah, so you better treat your neighbor the way that you would want to be treated.
Because you are treating yourself. Because you are treating yourself.
You're
however
putting
you treat
a request in of what you want to experience in life by what you're giving to all of creation around you. And that's your little request is that you...
Now, and when you know that, then your devotion to others will be genuine.
Yeah.
You'll be like, Thank you for the opportunity to let me help you. I really needed that. That really inspired me, and I really needed that. Thank you for asking for help. You know, most people are too afraid to ask for help or say they need it. So, but I'm really grateful that you asked for help. Yeah. You know, because I needed to give it, and giving it to you inspired me, and I was dispirited. And because I was dispirited, I was exhausted. I was fatigued. Yep. But I thought my fatigue was coming from my work schedule. But really my fatigue was because I was dispirited. I wasn't inspired.
In my giving.
Yes, I wasn't inspired by my giving.
I wasn't a happy learner, or you could say a happy giver.
I wasn't giving genuine devotion to others.
Right.
I only gave begrudgingly.
Right.
You know, and so which means I wasn't genuinely devoted. You know, and so now, I realized that's why I was dispirited, disencouraged, and exhausted, fatigued. So, but it says, to be fatigued is to be dispirited, but to be inspired is to be in the spirit. So when you are feeling inspired because of your genuine devotion to another, then you are in the spirit. So you'll be like, I'm in the spirit.
And so when you're inspiring another, then you're in the spirit.
When you inspire another, you're in the spirit.
Yeah.
Now,
you can't say, well, I'm going to bring my cannon over tomorrow and blow your heads off. That's not in the spirit.
Not at all.
We don't have to pray about it. Should we have a war like that? No, because that's not inspiring.
Right.
So if it's not inspiring, I love that, then you're not in the spirit.
Exactly. And if you're not in the spirit, you're going to feel fatigued. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to be like, I have no energy. I'm exhausted. I'm fatigued.
And now you know that just dancing around in front of a church or whatever is not being in the spirit. Being in the spirit is when you're being inspiring. Now if you're dancing in front of the church and you're inspiring, you're being inspiring, maybe you inspire some other people to dance.
And that inspiration comes from a genuine devotion to another.
Yeah. That's
where it comes from. You know, we think I'll dance and, you know, and I'll be inspired, you know.
Self-inspired.
Self-inspired, but you don't get, I was dancing for the Lord and I became inspired. No. According to A Course in Miracles, that inspiration, that in the spirit, comes when you are genuinely devoted to another. Where when they ask you for something, instead of condemning them and disencouraging them and telling them, oh my God, that's horrible that you need that, you know, and we offer them, we go twice as far and answer their call to love twice as far as they asked, then that's where the inspiration comes from. And you're not exhausted when you're inspired and you're in the spirit after you've been genuinely devoted to another. And it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter who it is. All right. So, and then it says now to be egocentric is to be dispirited. Okay. When you're just serving yourself, egocentric, to be just serving yourself is to be dispirited.
Right, it's not inspiring others.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
You're just taking care of yourself.
Yeah, you're just being self-inspired.
You're just taking care of yourself.
Doesn't matter.
It's all about me.
It doesn't matter if people around you are being inspired.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. To be egocentric, where it's not about how I can be genuinely devoted to another and help another and go twice as far as they ask. It's about, what about me? What about my needs? Okay. Mm-hmm. To be egocentric is to be dispirited. So when I'm only thinking about myself, I'm going to be dispirited. But to be self-centered in the right sense is to be inspired or in the spirit.
And again, self-centered.
In the right sense.
Meaning, I believe, meaning that all I do unto my brother, I do unto myself.
Exactly.
And
self-centered in the
even
right
the
sense.
teacher's manual says that the teacher of God has learned in a selfish, practical way. So it's a practical way, even though it is selfish, because it's back to the self again.
Exactly.
What do I get out of it? That's what self is all about. What do I get all about?
Right.
So if you want to be selfish, then realize a universal law that would work to your selfishness.
That's what it means to be self-centered in the right sense.
Right.
You know, that in the teacher's manual, like you're saying, that a teacher of love is generous out of self-interest.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. The teacher of love is generous out of self-interest.
Exactly.
You know, instead of I'm trying to get out of self-interest, I'm trying to give out of self-interest.
Right, because I know I'm going to need it. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life that I don't like. I got a lot of stuff in my life that is fatiguing me. And making me unhappy. And taking my peace from me. And this person is asking me to go a mile. I'm going to go 2 miles because I also know another universal law at work, which is if I give 2 miles, I'm going to give 4 back. I might get 6 back. Because the multiplications of heaven is jacked up. Something's wrong with their system.
Yeah, exponential.
Instead of you getting 2 back, you get more. That's how it works, exponentially.
Exponential, sacred geometry.
And that is in the Course.
Yes, exactly.
That it comes back exponentially, just more and greater.
Exactly.
Because it's found a recipient that it can trust, that's first of all calling for the measure of that, whatever that is. But you've learned how to call for it now. You've learned you're not a baby anymore.
That's right.
You've learned
You're a toddler.
You're a toddler. Like us at best. Let's not get out of our diapers
Exactly.
Get carried away.
So let's be honest.
Yeah. So we're toddlers, but at the toddler stage, at least, you know, we're waking up to, okay.
I'm going to be self-centered,
I'm going to be nice to
but in
you
the right
because
sense.
I know that in being nice to you, I'm really being nice to myself.
Pretty good, Johnny. Here's a snack.
And I'm going to need that kindness pretty soon, evidently, or you wouldn't have showed up in my life. That's how it really works.
Amen to that.
And thanks you for showing up, because evidently I'm going to need some kindness pretty soon.
And that's what it means to be self-centered in the right sense.
Right.
Which also means to be inspired.
To be inspired, because now I'm giving out, I'm going to need this somehow, some way. Thank you for showing up. Now you're doing it for
genuine devotion.
Genuine.
You're doing it out of genuine devotion now.
And that vibe, that your energy that you're putting out to that other person is received by them as man, I was in trouble and this person's not treating me like an idiot. They're being so kind to me. They're almost treating me like they would if they were me. I mean, so weird.
That's
like,
so weird.
They're just
That's
like
so weird.
telling me a million times, stop worrying about it, pat me on the back. I've done that myself a million times. Whatever.
Totally.
Come on.
Beautiful.
They just made me feel so good.
Beautiful.
But you're giving yourself back the comfort that you would want if you were in that position, no matter how horrible that position might be.
And it could be
all
horrible.
the more reason you would want the comfort.
Exactly. And we know we can give ourselves some really uncomfortable, horrible experiences.
Right.
So how about we set it up where when that happens, if that happens again, since we kind of have a fetish for it, that, you know, someone is compassionate and merciful, you know, and when we say, I need help, they're like, well, let me give you twice as much help as you're asking for, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
And we have been, some of us, living a life where we feel like everybody wants something from me. Mm-hmm. You know, when is people going to give me my shit?
Like if you've ever been a parent.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about giving. I've always been giving.
Yeah, that's every parent has felt like that at some point.
But when you're giving at a begrudging level, at such a...
It's exhausting.
You know, whatever, that's what you're getting back, and that's why it feels that way. But when you change the current of the ship to, okay...
The purpose.
I understand the purpose here now.
The purpose.
And now you look at the person as not a pain in the butt, another person asking you for something.
Another person trying to get something from me.
Yeah.
I'm
you
so
look
exhausted.
at them as, oh, okay, there's a connection somewhere. I don't see it, but somewhere I'm going to need help. And they're like the plug in my ship to plug the hole up that's bringing water in. For that particular hole size that I need for whatever that is that I'm having right now, or that's soon coming.
Yes.
They're my plug hole.
Yes.
And now they're my savior instead of begrudgingly.
Yes.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you.
Exactly.
And you recognize it rightly.
Yes.
In the right spirit of mind. Then now you've really changed your experience of life, because
from fatigue to inspired.
Yeah. And now you're just giving inspiringly all the time. Doesn't mean you're always going to say yes. You're not going to become a washboard.
A doormat.
No, you're going to do what Spirit tells you to do. Spirit sometimes is going to tell you to say no.
That's right. Absolutely. Spirit
to the surprise of the other.
Exactly.
But in a loving way.
Right. Sometimes genuine devotion is to say no.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if somebody's an addict and they're asking you for some more drug, you know, it may be genuine devotion to say no, I'm not going to give that to you.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you twice the drugs you asked
Exactly. You know, so sometimes truly genuine devotion is saying no, but you know,
because again, it's coming from the place of you looking at them and going, truly, if I was them,
that's what I'm going to give you twice.
I wish somebody like me would stand up for them.
That's what it means. That's what it means.
And to care for them.
That's what it
Not
means.
just to say, whatever, just you're a waste.
Yeah, here's
Go
$5.
Do whatever you want.
Oh, I gave $5 to that homeless guy.
But,
all right.
But to say no to the drug or whatever, because if you were truly caring for them and you were them, that's how I wish somebody would treat me.
Exactly. That's genuine devotion.
That is. And that's why you would say no in that case.
Exactly.
Because
that's what you wish someone would do for you. Thing. Exactly.
You're out of love.
Exactly. So that, you know, genuine devotion instead of fake devotion starts with, if I was in this person's shoes, which probably I have in one form or another, what would I want somebody to do for me? I'm going to do that times 2.
And what's probably, if you're connected, what's probably coming or happening already in that story of your life is you have a situation where you need to be told no. Where you wanted,
someone says
you
say
wanted
no.
it to be a yes.
Right. The way you were hurting yourself.
But they gave it to you in such a loving way. They said, I'm not going to do that because I love you. I'm not going to give you the drug.
Exactly.
Help you get the drug.
Exactly.
Or whatever the story is. But the point is you'll get it back, you know, in the same, and maybe that's why that person came to you, because you have the same story coming. You'll connect them. Somebody just told me no.
Yeah.
But I sure am glad they did it the way they did, and not make me feel like a total idiot and charade me in front of other people, but belittle me or nothing like that in front of people. They did in a very loving way, in a kind way, and helped me with some other ideas and some options. And thought it out with me, talk it out with me.
Yes, beautiful.
You know, and that's how I would want to be treated. And oh, look it, that's just how I, in this one circumstance.
Beautiful. Hi, Pam. And then hi, Jorge. Hi,
Hey,
George. We just saw them earlier today. Isn't that wonderful?
So
we saw them
wonderful.
today at the Miracle Center, and now we see their names and feel their energies
I
again
said, Pam,
tonight.
when are you coming up again?
And here she is.
And she said, when you invite me.
Aww.
Well, here you are.
That's right, exactly.
Thanks for showing up.
And hi, Demi. And hi, Trisha. Trisha was saying, hello, my beloved family.
Oh,
Isn't that beautiful?
I
When
love
someone
it.
you think is so cool, you know, claims you as their family.
Yeah,
That's the coolest thing ever.
it is.
That is the result of genuine devotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people whom you love claim you as their family, that's like, you know, that's the result of genuine devotion. You know, and that's that's what we want to be learning how to do. Like, how do I be genuinely devoted to others in a real way? So that I can be inspired, which is the opposite of being depressed and fatigued, which means, I love it, to be egocentric is to be dispirited. Another great name for dispirited is depressed or discouraged.
Yeah,
you know?
or be discouraging.
Yes, exactly. And when you're egocentric, you're feeling discouraged, you're feeling depressed. And the reason you're feeling discouraged and depressed and dispirited is because that's what you gave to others when they were calling for love. When they said, help me.
Imagine in your practice that people call up or meet with you in session, and they always leave dispirited.
Exactly. Oh, I wouldn't last long in my profession.
No.
I wouldn't last long
No,
at
you
all.
wouldn't
And
at
that's
all.
why some therapists do leave the profession, because people left their sessions feeling more dispirited and more discouraged.
Yeah.
You know, and
So you have to get really in the spirit to inspire, whether
And,
that or anything.
I had to learn from A Course in Miracles how to be genuinely devoted to another person. You know, and so A Course in Miracles taught me what it means to be genuinely devoted to another person. You know, I had to learn that, and I didn't learn it from the world, and I didn't learn it from my parents. Literally, I learned it from A Course in Miracles. And so, you know, A Course in Miracles taught me how when somebody's coming to me saying, help me, I need help, how to go twice as far with them as they are asking in terms of help. You know, and what does it really mean to be truly, genuinely devoted to another? You know, so
to be inspiring.
exactly, how to be truly inspiring to another.
To adding.
Exactly, and it is true that the amount to which I have felt inspired in my life was equal to how much I was being inspiring to others, meaning being helpful and sincerely devoted, genuinely devoted to others. I always think that inspiration comes from like, I'm going to be out in the mountains and the woods by myself. I'm going to turn my phone off and I'm going to get inspired. You know, forgetting that being inspired is not something that happens to you by yourself. It's something that comes when you are genuinely devoted to another. You know, and so being a holistic psychotherapist, I have learned that truly, as I am inspiring and helpful, genuinely devoted to others, literally that is what inspires me. I've learned that through being a teacher, of course, with you and my psychotherapeutic private practice. I have learned that is what inspires me.
And then it's nice to have a life of support.
Yeah, exactly. So that when I need help, which I do, you know, then there are people who are like, I feel so honored to be able to help you. It's inspiring to me to help you, Anna and Greg. And it's beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful life where that inspires you to be devoted to others like that, and then others are devoted to you like that. That's a really cool life. That's a great life. That is a great life. Yeah. Absolutely.
When your life is happy and the people around you are still adding to your life with inspirational ideas and options, and hey, maybe you guys should check this out, maybe you should do that, maybe this. Life just becomes funner and funner, more lighter and lighter.
Abundant, more inspired.
Yeah, because it's not just you and your little tiny, teensy-weensy little bubble.
Egocentric
trying
bubble.
to inspire what's inspiring
Yourself.
for me, myself, but to be inspiring, to give inspiration.
To be
And there's
encouraging.
nothing like it, because there's nothing like the ratification of the abundance of overflow that comes back, what you gave.
That's right.
Of inspiration back into your life.
Yes.
In the multitudes of ways that it will come back into your life.
That's right.
And then when you start seeing it and connecting it and realizing you're aware of it, you are even way more inspired to give it.
Absolutely.
And it really is, it's like becomes a fun job, because it's like your job is to make happy.
Yes.
I mean, because
same as saying
I'm
to
happy,
inspire or to encourage.
Now I'm happy to make happy.
Exactly.
When somebody is needing inspiration and they're like, oh, I got this going on. And then you have an idea they haven't thought of maybe.
Exactly.
That's inspiration. However you can be inspiring.
Yes.
However you can give hope. Why? Because when you're in a dark place, it sure is nice when somebody comes along and has an idea you haven't thought of. It sure is just coincidentally. It sure is nice that somebody comes along and gives you some hope.
That's right.
When you thought there wasn't any hope left anymore.
Or you're tempted to give up.
You want to give up on the story.
Give up. What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
And anybody that has ever that you've ever listened to who's incredibly successful and inspired, you'll hear the same story.
They do tell the same story. They've connected it.
They will tell you, they'll all tell you the same story, that the secret of their success was in giving to others. They'll all tell you that. You know, you talk to people who are really successful and happy, and they will tell you that the secret of their success is in giving. They'll tell you that. You know, they've discovered the secret.
Yep.
They've discovered the secret. And it is not like, I believe I'm good enough. And, you know, it's not that at all. You know, they'll all tell you that the secret of my success is because I give to others. And it makes me feel great. And it inspires me. It makes me more abundant.
I'd like to say that, you know, we cut down corporations a lot sometimes. Some of us do. I've heard of people doing it, I guess I should say. And a lot of corporations, because I've been in the corporate world before in my life. I've been seeing corporate boards and the way they behave. But that's a great point. That's a common trend that I noticed among them in businesses. These corporations give like it's nobody's business. And it's not just to have put a good front in front of the public.
Right.
It's because they have somewhere, that's how they became a big
they learned the
corporation to
formula.
begin with.
They learned the
They
formula.
learned the formula of somehow when we give back to the community, we get back from the community.
Right. Exactly.
And so, you know, they figured it out.
Exactly. And a lot of, you know, you were talking about corporations, when you listen to a lot of very successful people, you know, in terms of how much money they have or whatever, when you listen to a lot of successful people, they will tell you that the secret of their success is their giving. You know, they're giving to others, and you know, and you may think, oh, they're so successful because they're so brilliant and they're so smart, or you know, or they had a trust fund or whatever. But when you listen to them, they'll tell you, no, I gave a lot. I was sincerely devoted to others, and that is the secret of my success. You know. So, and any person or corporation who were egocentric, you know, meaning like, let's just get as much money for ourselves as we can, and that'll be success. Whether that was a person or a corporation, if they had that attitude, it wasn't long before they failed.
Yeah, they didn't last.
They didn't last very long. They didn't last very long because they were egocentric. They were going for the good of themselves. They were egocentric, which made them all become dispirited or depressed. When you're working for yourself, what can I get from this situation? Me, what can I get? You know, I'm gonna get ahead by stepping on other people. You know, you may think that that's a good business strategy, but ultimately it's really just depressing. It makes you depressed, which makes you sick. So it's really not that good for business at all.
We tend to laugh about this concept of the devil, and we don't mean to offend people, but we talk about, you know, the ego or Lucifer, but it's all the same thing. And what it is, the devil, if there was a devil, the ego, if there was an ego, is exactly what Anna was just describing, the me concept.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the ego is.
Yes.
That's all the devil is. That's all the Lucifer is.
Me.
It's self.
Yeah.
It's not we. It's not God's creation.
It's
all of us
service
together,
to self. It's service to self.
knowing we're connected, and we are. We can't change that. We try to think we can, but we can't. We are joined at the hip. We are connected. We are one.
Yep.
We are solid. We are unified, and nothing can separate us.
Even if we want to be.
Even if we've tried to have it happen, in
Like
our
we
wildest imaginations, which we've been doing, it still isn't going to change that our oneness, our connectedness.
Yes.
And we're making our way home by learning these little concepts. See, in heaven, they don't have these concepts.
Exactly.
We're learning these concepts. Oh, as I do to Anna, I do to myself.
Oh.
In
Wow.
heaven, in heaven, it would be like, "Are you okay, Greg? Do you need a heaven and tonic?
Yeah,
What's going
heaven
on?
and tonic, H&T.
Come on, Greg. Yeah, right. Of course, what you do to her, you do to yourself.
Duh.
You're connected. You're
Why?
one. Greg.
You must. What's wrong? Are you
What's
okay?
wrong with
Why
Greg?
are you giving?
Greg is acting weird, like what he did to
He's
her
calling
came
for
back
love.
to him.
He's calling for love.
He's acting weird. Somebody.
He's calling for love.
Do we have paramedics up here?
Triage.
And
He
so,
said.
yeah.
Yes, that's right. So when you are egocentric, me,
Self-centered.
self-centered in the wrong sense, then you're going to be dispirited, which means discouraged, which means depressed. And but when you are self-centered in the right sense, where you are like self-centered, like as I do to them, that's what's going to happen to me. That's what I'm going to give it to myself. And then you are inspired. That's what inspires you. Oh, that as I give to them, that's going to be what I give to. That's what I'm going to experience. So I'm gonna see their request for love and help, and I'm gonna raise it twice. You know, and that's where inspiration and abundance really comes from. And then it says, and the truly inspired. Those who are truly inspired, why? Because they are truly, genuinely devoted to others. Those folks are enlightened. And you know what it means to be enlightened? It means they cannot abide in darkness. Those who are truly inspired by their genuine devotion to others, they are truly enlightened, which means they can't abide in darkness. They're like, no, thank you. I've already done the darkness, been there, done that, and got the pain and the scars to prove it. No, thank you. I don't want to live in darkness. Okay, the truly inspired are enlightened, which means people don't. They say, no more. I'm not going to live in the darkness of egocentricity.
And your brother and sister that were in their depression, their darkness. And then you come along and had some thoughts or ideas or options that they haven't thought about, or ways to be helpful to go that mile or two with them that they need, because that's what you would want after all. If it's you in this situation, and it's not inconvenient for you to do it, so why not? Type of deal. oh, they're in the darkness,
Yeah.
and then you come along, and that, I love how we're always talking about, are you awake, are you enlightened? And the Course here does one of its, again, definition.
Yeah.
Do you want to know
Here's
what
the
awake
definition
is?
of enlightenment.
You want to know who's awoken, who's awakened,
Yes.
who's
Yeah.
enlightened?
Who's the real woke?
The ones that inspire my children.
Yeah, the ones
That's
who are
what-
like,
That's what God would say.
yeah,
The ones that inspire my children
exactly.
are the ones that are enlightened.
Exactly, and if you
Because-
don't inspire others, you're going to be in the dark yourself.
Because an enlightened person would know that they want to give inspiration because they always want to receive inspiration.
Exactly, right.
They don't want to give disinspiration because they never would want to receive that. So
Exactly.
an enlightened person would know that, would understand all of that.
That's what an enlightened person knows.
Yes, they get that.
They get that. That's what it means to
They're
be
not
enlightened.
a baby no more.
An enlightened person is like, listen, I don't want to be in the darkness. It sucks. And so I'm not going to help them to stay in the darkness. I'm not going to give them more darkness. I'm not going to I'm not going to help
give
them
some
stay in
hope.
the darkness. I'm going to give them some hope. I'm going to give them some inspiration.
Yeah, well, have you tried this? Well, did
Right.
you look over here?
Exactly.
At least
Well,
when
you're doing great. You're doing awesome. Just keep on going.
At least, like when I tell you, honey, have you seen my sunglasses? And you're like, you could say, I told you to put them where you could find them at the front door, and now what? You
But you
can't
didn't.
find them. That's not inspiring.
No, it's not.
Or you could say, no, I haven't, but did you look in your coat pocket? You put them in there a lot. And so they're giving you ideas. They're giving you inspiration. They're being helpful. They may
Exactly.
not have helped, but
Right.
they're trying to be inspirational.
Exactly.
They're not trying to make you feel stupid or like an idiot about
Right.
it.
Or they could say, I don't know, let's ask Finding Angels.
Yeah.
Finding Angels, would you find Greg's sunglasses?
And then I'd be like, would
And
you stop being a smart ass?
And then you find them.
But if that's what you want,
Yeah.
when you're asking for help, then they
Right.
go,
Right.
well, let's
Do you-
ask for Finding Angels.
That is what I would want. Truly, that is what I want. When
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know where my car keys are, I would much rather you go Finding Angels, find the keys, instead of like, I told you, should put them in the same place every time. It's like, we have to give what we want to receive.
Mhm.
We have to give what we want to receive. And so,
Exactly.
mine's like, Finding Angels, where's Anna's keys?
All right.
He's
note
like,
to
now
self.
he knows. Note to self.
Note to self.
Note to self. Note to self. Finding Angels, where's her keys?
That will be inspiring.
See, that'd be much more inspiring than
All
I
right.
told you, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I'll report back if I can, people, how this is going to go, because I'm going to use this.
Yeah, because
see,
we
I'm
need
gonna-
it.
I'm going to see if she goes, thanks for calling on the Finding Angels. Or she walks back in and goes, are you still standing there drinking your coffee? I called on the Finding
I would
Angels.
never say
It's your job now.
I'd never say that.
Not my job, baby. Good luck.
See, that's what we give you. This is real time, real life. This is actual reality TV right here.
Yeah.
This is reality TV as it should be.
All
Okay.
right. Well, anyway, we're gonna try that one this week. See how it works. See if she calls me a smart ass or not.
No, I really would prefer that.
You would
Yes,
prefer
I would
that,
much
okay.
prefer that than
All right.
okay.
I would probably, just to be
See?
clarify, I
Yes.
would think you're being a smart ass.
Yes.
So to clarify, I would like you to actually physically help me look for
Oh,
the
okay,
people.
okay. I'm
Don't
so glad
act-
to know
You
this.
be the angel. You be the angel that descended from
Find the
heaven
angel.
in body form.
What if I'm in the bathtub?
And you're gonna look for
What-
keys now.
What if I'm in the bathtub?
Not if you're in the bathtub.
Then do call them the Finding Angels. Do you want me to get out of the bathtub?
It
It's all right.
depends.
It'll all be good.
If it just means you're here, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. All right. Okay. So it says the truly inspired are enlightened. Oh, and cannot abide in darkness. So the truly inspired, they're enlightened. What does enlightened mean? Is I can't live in the darkness, y'all. So I've been there, done that. No. I'm not going to live in the darkness. No. I don't want to do that anymore. I already did that. So I'm going to do genuine devotion to others. Okay, that's those who are truly enlightened. Those who are like, I've been in the darkness and it was horrible. It really sucked. And I'm not going to do that anymore. So instead of being egocentric and being in the darkness, I'm going to learn how to be genuinely devoted to others who are calling for help to me. Okay, so that is that for real? That was only one paragraph. That is one paragraph. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that is one paragraph.
All right. Well, maybe Spirit. I mean, we started late, but maybe Spirit really felt a need to get this concept across. I know I need to do it.
We both did.
And you know, there were times when you can look at a spiritual truth, just a sentence or two, and you can meditate on it on hours and find all kinds of jewels out of it. So one paragraph sometimes can have many hidden jewels in it. But this I think can't be understated by the Course enough, because it's throughout the Course is as I give unto myself.
Yes.
As I give unto myself. If
Truly.
I want to, we look at our lives and let's use me for an example, because I'm a good example.
Thanks.
Right now. Maybe is I was having a backache because I didn't feel, in my mind I was telling myself I wasn't feeling supported. But where the connection in life comes is were you being supported? And in my mind, I'm like, well, of course I'm. Oh, so stupid to ask that. Who asked that? Stand up. Where are you?
So I could smack you.
I heard you. Where are you? But are you? And that's why we fail to get healed, because we don't think we're the ones with the problem. Hey, I'm not here with the problem.
I'm not the one being
I'm here
non-supportive.
just reporting the problem. All right, don't get me confused with the person that is the problem. And so, but anyway, are you being supportive? If you don't feel like you're getting support, are you being inspirational? If you don't feel like the things that you're doing in life is being other
Or
people,
inspiring you.
Yeah, are being inspired through others to you, because the people around you aren't getting inspiration either, because you're not being a conduit for that.
Yeah, you're being discouraging.
But you want it just like everybody else. Well, you need to show the way how to do that. Is open up the valve, which is to be inspiring.
That's right. To be supportive.
Yeah, to be supportive.
Genuinely.
So, and that message can't be said whether it's over and over 500 times or in one paragraph for 2-3 hours in a row, because that message is so groundingly powerful. It changes your course, your experience in life. It really does.
It really
redirects the current beneath your feet.
Absolutely. And brings you to the real world, where all your needs are known and answered without resentment and sacrifice. It brings you, all these ideas bring you to the real world, where you're not feeling discouraged or disinspired or fatigued. You're feeling inspired, and you're feeling supported, and you're feeling encouraged. All these ideas and these practices bring you to that world where that's how you feel in your whole world, your whole life. You feel encouraged, supported, inspired.
I love this second paragraph though, because we were laughing about today when we looked at it a little bit, that God has the copyright, God's own self.
Yeah, God has the copyright on truth.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So that God has a copyright.
And how things work.
Yes, and what is so, right? I love it. So Patricia says, yes, I hauled peaches to you. Haul peaches to us. Thank you. I accept. I love peaches. Maria loves peaches. Okay, beautiful. And Tricia says, when you let the water of life flow, all things will happen for the good. That's beautiful. Amen to that.
That's
and
right.
Hi Yitzi.
Let it go and let it flow.
Yitzi is in Israel. So Yitzi is watching from Israel.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Hi Yitzi. Lovely to see you. Beautiful. And Tricia is watching from Fruita, Colorado.
Yes.
Beautiful. And I saw Demi as well, and Bridget as well. So lovely to see you, our friends. You are awesome and amazing.
And no matter whether you come in live or during the week, it doesn't, you know, we love having the live energy. We're not going to lie.
Yes, yeah. No,
but
we love it.
Still, we love to look at, we periodically go back and look to see if any posted any new comments and how many people have been joining in through the week. And that's inspiring for us.
It's very inspiring for us.
It's very inspiring to us, and it's inspiring when people give their hearts or the thumbs up or whatever.
Yes.
And so continue with that because it does lift us up and it does keep us encouraged.
Yes.
But I love how number 2 comes on the scene, short paragraph telling us, do not attempt, which is what we spend most of our time doing, attempt to break God's copyright. God has a copyright. God, you could say, God established things to be the way they are.
God's the author of reality. God holds the copyright on reality.
Yeah, you're not going to treat others and that experience not come back to you.
Exactly. That's right.
Just like you gave.
Exactly.
Don't try to break.
You can't break God's copyright.
To break God's copyright. Like, well, that ain't going to work on me.
I'm above that. I can give something unloving to others and not receive it back.
And not be connected to them.
I'm breaking God's copyright.
Ever.
Exactly. That's attempting to break God's copyright.
Right.
You know, I see, the laws of God don't apply to me. I can give something unloving and get only loving back. You know, that's you attempting to break God's copyright. Do not attempt to break God's copyright, because God's authorship alone can copyright. Yeah. It's a play on words.
Yeah, it's a play on words.
There's copyright, and then there's I want to copy this right.
Right.
Okay. It says.
And it does copyrightly.
Yes.
Because it should be that way. The way you gave is the way you give back.
Yeah, that's right.
It just seems natural. That's fair for everybody. So you got a punch in the eye. Well, did you give a punch in the eye?
Yes. I did in content. I maybe not in form, but in content I did. You know, somebody came to me asking for help, and I emotionally punched them in the eye instead of inspiring them or encouraging them.
And see, I believe that when that saying came along, you've heard it said before, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. The way it was trying to be explained in the old way is if you take an eye, you're going to lose an eye. If you take a tooth, you're going to, because you're joined. But they didn't understand the concept no more.
Right.
So he had to bring out a new concept.
Yes.
And so God copies right. The way that God established it and has done it, it's right. It's the right way it should be, and that's the fair way it should be. You're going to give inspiration. You're going to get inspiration. You're going to be disinspiring, taking people's hope away, making them feel condemned and judged. You're going to get all of that back in its measure.
Yes.
But the other way, you get it back exponentially.
It's a copy, you know. It's a copy either way. You know, what you give, you're going to get a copy of it. You know. And
beautiful.
So, yeah.
Perfect. I love that.
And there's a way to copy right, you know, and to copy God is to copy right.
Right.
You know, and
with kindness.
Exactly.
With joy,
Exactly. Genuine devotion to another. I just noticed that our colors completely match, and I did not recognize. I didn't notice that till now. Like our colors completely match.
Oh, we're like upside
We
down.
have black and cream.
You have cream. Can you see it?
Yeah,
cream?
I have cream on my skirt.
Yeah.
Oops. And cream colored skirt and this. I mean, total match.
Yeah.
Again, and we did not
Good.
plan that at all. I just had to say.
Well,
I know.
I love your outfit.
Well, I love you. Look smashingly tonight.
Well, I would certainly go out with somebody
Would you?
in your apparel.
Really?
I would even dress in your apparel.
Alrighty then. Well, that was a very interesting disclosure right there. All right. So in paragraph 2, it says, "Do not attempt to break God's copyright being one word, because God's authorship alone can copyright."
Who authored?
Yes, exactly. Only God's authorship can copyright. So it says, "Your own right authorship does not lie in remaking God's copies, but in creating like God."
So we can only create like God, which we were talking about that earlier today too. God never asked us to do what God's own self doesn't do.
Yes.
God's not smoking a cigarette and telling us not to smoke a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
God's telling us how everything works and how God does it.
So we can create like God.
Because God is happy. And God wants us to be like God, which is happy. And so God established already what makes happy. And all we have to do is copy. Well, we don't even have to come up with it. It's like,
how easy
you
is
don't
that?
even have to figure it out.
Not to
All we
reinvent
have
the
to
wheel.
do is, it's like
Copy
sitting
God.
in school and copy on
That's
your neighbor's
all
test.
you have to do.
Oh, the answer is
Exactly.
C. Why? Because
Yes.
that's God's answer.
Because God's the author.
And
Because
so
God's
I'm
the
going to go
author.
with that answer.
Exactly. Amen
And
to
so,
that.
but we create like God, meaning that what God puts out, God gets back. And God only puts out kindness.
Yes.
And guess what? God only gets back kindness.
That's right.
And we create like God in that what we put out is a request to the heavens, to the universe, to the galaxies, to the
For the copy
back.
of what we gave.
Here. Now I want a copy of that back, all right?
Oh,
That's
you get your receipt all right.
That's what God created, that we copy like God. You get back what you mailed off.
Exactly. Amen to that.
And once you really get that, I mean really get that, get it,
then you'll be enlightened. That's what enlightenment means.
You'll be enlightened.
That's what
because
enlightenment
you will
means.
want to inspire.
Yes, exactly. What a great definition of enlightenment that we're getting from A Course in Miracles. You know, A Course in Miracles is defining enlightenment where you realize that as I give to myself.
Right.
You know, really, that is what it means to be enlightened. It doesn't mean I have spent 25 years in a cave on a mountainside, you know, and I have quieted my mind. That's not what enlightenment means. According to A Course in Miracles, it means, oh, I finally get it.
Right.
What I do to them is what I do to myself, and so whatever I want for myself, I better give to them, and times 2.
Yes.
And I get it. That's what enlightenment really means, according to A Course in Miracles.
Because when it comes back to me, I would love it to come back times 2.
It's going, whatever you give, you're going to get a copy of times 2.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, that's what enlightenment really means. It doesn't mean I've meditated for 25 years and my mind is now quiet. It means I finally get it. Whatever I give to them is what I'm asking for myself, you know. So, all right, well, let's stop here.
And doesn't it feel inspiring that it puts us in charge of our destiny?
Yes, it sure does.
It puts us back in control.
Yes,
because
amen.
if you're having problems in your life, then you can just start not trying to fix the problem. Don't go to the problem to try to fix it. Go to this other avenue, which is those who come to you offering you they need help,
They're
and
asking
you have whatever provisions to help them,
times 2.
then you're trying to, the times 2, because it's going to come back again times 4 to you.
Exactly. And now you'll be creating like God.
Yeah. And so
That's how you create
you're
like
digging
God.
yourself out of this hole 4 times faster than if you were to go directly to the problem and go, I'll just work overtime for 10 months in a row.
Exactly.
That'll solve it.
Exactly.
Or you can just, this person's coming to me and they need inspiration.
Help. Yes, they need help.
And maybe I can give it through material form. Maybe I can give it to them through ideas. Maybe I can give it to them through options, through different options.
Exactly, that's right.
Whatever, as long as I'm trying to be helpful is to be inspiring.
Exactly.
I've only come to be helpful is to be inspiring.
Exactly.
So try to imagine yourself in their shoes and you showed up.
Yes, amen to that.
And so, wow.
I love it. If I was needing help, I would want someone like me or like Greg to show up.
If I was needing help, I would want me to show up to me.
And I want to say,
with the provisions
for real,
with the provisions,
I would want someone like you to show up to when I needed help. So the thing that I would like to close on is this: that notice if you are in a situation where you feel fatigued, exhausted, deprived, notice who shows up asking for your help during that time. Think about that. If you're in one of those periods where you're like, I'm exhausted, I'm depleted, I've been taken advantage of, I'm exhausted, I have nothing left.
I'm always giving, nobody's giving.
I'm always giving, and nobody gives back to me. That old story. I always give, but nobody gives back to me. If you are in that state of mind, in that place right now, I want you to notice who shows up next asking for your help. And I want you to recognize them and go, okay, so they are asking for the help that I need. So let me not only answer their call for love, but times 2. Okay.
Or to the degree that I would want help.
Exactly.
If I needed help in some area of my life.
Which you will soon.
If I needed help, or like you said, will soon, then that's spooky in my life. I know as people show up and all of a sudden I know I'm supposed to do this. That I need help. And right around the corner, all of a sudden it's like, all of a sudden this big problem happened and it was solved as soon as it happened.
Amen to that.
Because as soon as the big problem that came to me on this other deal, I didn't waste time thinking about it. It was solved before it happened. And that's how I wanted it to happen for me if I was in that deal. And then I was in that deal, and that answer was the answer I gave myself. And I was so happy I answered it that way.
Yeah, because then you got answered yourself very shortly when you needed it, in the way you needed it.
It was like your past self loved your future self.
Exactly, that's exactly
your past self went, you know what? I'm gonna
need this help later.
I'm gonna help my future self.
I'm gonna need that help later, so I'm gonna give that to this person so that when I need it in the future, it'll be there for me. That's what it means to be enlightened. That is the definition of being enlightened and inspired. Okay, so thank you for joining this healing circle. Thank you for being here and enjoying and watching and listening and joining your ideas to these ideas. We so appreciate your time and energy that you share, that you use to watch this class.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
See you next Tuesday. Hopefully.
See you next Tuesday.